There's a moment in NASCAR that nobody talks about publicly when a small team realizes they've done something unforgivable. They built someone too good. I watched Justin Marks bet his entire reputation on a guy the garage laughed at. I watched him struggle on ovals. I watched the whole sport dismiss him as a road course experiment. And then, win by win, race by race, everything changed. Now I'm watching Rick Hendrick lean against a wall at the track. Just watching, not talking. Just watching. And that's when it hit me. This was no longer a driver's story. This was a takeover. And Trackhouse Racing is standing right in the middle of 3 years. That's how long Justin Marks spent building something the rest of the garage refused to believe in. He took the risk nobody else would take. He developed Shane Van Gisbergen, believed in him, fought for him, race after race, oval after oval, criticism after criticism. And just when the whole sport finally caught up to what Trackhouse always knew, the most powerful man in NASCAR started paying attention. Rick Hendrick doesn't show up to watch average drivers. He never has. And that's exactly what makes this moment so dangerous for Trackhouse Racing. Because this is no longer just a feel-good development story. This is a situation. Before we get into it, this is exactly the kind of story NASCAR Racing Central breaks down for you every week, and we are closing in on 500 subscribers. If this channel has ever given you real NASCAR content worth your time, hit subscribe right now, drop a like, leave a comment, and share this video. Your support is what makes it possible to keep bringing you breakdowns like this. Now let's get into it. When Shane Van Gisbergen arrived in the NASCAR Cup Series, the garage had already decided what he was: a road course specialist, a road course ringer, imported talent that would look dangerous on street circuits and disappear everywhere else. The compliments came loaded with a ceiling. Everyone acknowledged his skill. Everyone quietly agreed it had a limit. That was the consensus. Then Chicago happened. Chicago 2023 wasn't just a win, it was an impossibility that happened anyway. A driver arriving from another discipline and immediately defeating NASCAR's best competitors on a street circuit had never been done at that level. The garage's first reaction was to explain it away. Perfect storm, unique circumstances. His background gave him an unfair advantage on a street circuit. The industry needed that narrative because accepting the win at face value meant accepting something uncomfortable. As @NASCAR on NBC put it, at what point do we stop calling SVG a road course specialist? Chicago was the shock. Watkins Glen felt like confirmation. The ceiling on this guy keeps moving higher. Chicago was the spark, but sparks get dismissed. What came next couldn't be. Mexico City proved Chicago wasn't geography. Sonoma proved it wasn't a fluke. And then came Watkins Glen, the win that changed the entire conversation. SVG was deep in the field. Pit strategy had gone wrong. The race looked over. Then he methodically hunted down every leader and won anyway. Stock Car Daily captured what the garage was already processing. Chicago created the hype. Sonoma built momentum. Watkins Glen created believers. That win was Zint road course DNA. That was championship DNA. That's when rival executives stopped watching casually and started paying attention. The road course specialist label isn't just wrong anymore. It's officially dead. And that death created a brand new problem for Trackhouse. When SVG was a road course ace, he was valuable but manageable. The moment he became a complete NASCAR threat, everything shifted. Sponsors noticed. Manufacturers noticed. Rival owners noticed. His market value became almost impossible to calculate. Jeff Gluck framed it as exactly right. The most fascinating thing about SVG isn't the wins anymore. It's how quickly the conversation has shifted from can he survive NASCAR to how valuable has he become to Chevrolet. And Kevin Harvick added the detail that should terrify every competing team. The scary part? SVG is still learning. That's what competitors should be worried about. He's winning while figuring things out. He is winning while still figuring things out. That sentence belongs on a wall inside every rival team's war room. Now shift the emotional weight to Trackhouse and what Justin Marks actually built. Marks took the risk nobody else would. He invested when SVG was an unknown quantity in American racing, developed him through NASCAR's ladder system deliberately and patiently. The payoff has been enormous, but success created a pressure nobody anticipated. At Justin Marks TH said it plainly. We didn't bring Shane here to be a road course guest star. We brought him here because we believed he could become one of NASCAR's biggest stars. He's proving that every week. There is confidence in that statement. There is also underneath it a warning. Because in NASCAR history, the pattern is real and it repeats. Smaller operations identify and develop elite talent, and powerhouse organizations eventually move in on the finished product. The audience already knows which names fit that pattern. They don't need to be listed. This is where Rick Hendrick enters the frame, and it needs to be said clearly. There are no confirmed negotiations. There are no credible reports of active pursuit. There are no contracts being discussed. But in NASCAR, does that actually matter? Hendrick Motorsports has been the sport's gold standard for decades. When elite talent becomes available, the entire industry assumes Hendrick evaluates it, whether the rumors are real or not. SVG's rise created the perfect environment for those theories to ignite. Chevrolet already has SVG winning races. Chevrolet also has Hendrick Motorsports as its flagship organization. Some voices in the sport started asking whether Chevrolet would eventually want its fastest rising international star inside its most powerful operation. At NASCAR Fan 24 put it in plain terms. Imagine spending years building SVG into a superstar and then having Hendrick come calling. That's the nightmare scenario for Trackhouse fans. And at Race Hub Insider went further. The Hendrick rumors aren't the story. The story is that fans can actually picture SVG in a Hendrick car now. That says everything about his rise. So here are the two visions, and both are legitimate. Vision 1. SVG stays at Trackhouse. Trackhouse becomes a championship-caliber organization built around a franchise cornerstone. A driver who attracts sponsors, international attention, manufacturer support, and race victories simultaneously. Justin Marks' vision, the one he staked his ownership on, validated completely. At Jordan Bianchi said it directly. Trackhouse may have started a project. What they have now looks a lot more like a franchise cornerstone. Vision 2. Hendrick enters the picture. Everything changes. This stops being a driver story and becomes a power struggle. A battle over influence, resources, and who controls NASCAR's next global superstar. The sport's biggest empire absorbing its newest sensation. Ask yourself, if SVG were available tomorrow, how many owners make that phone call? At NASCAR Debate already answered it. If Shane Van Gisbergen were available tomorrow, how many owners make a phone call? My guess? All of them. At Bob Pockras kept it grounded in reality. No indication of any driver market movement involving SVG, but it's undeniable that his stock inside the garage has skyrocketed over the last year. Back inside Trackhouse, the pressure is real, and it is building in real time. Pressure to keep constructing the car around him. Pressure on sponsors to lock in long-term commitments before someone else does. Pressure on management to ensure the investment doesn't become someone else's trophy. At Chevy Racing Fan captured the broader stakes. Every manufacturer dreams of a driver who wins races and brings global attention. SVG is becoming exactly that. And at Cup Series Critic closed the case. If SVGG keeps improving on ovals, the rest of the garage has a serious problem. Road courses were supposed to be his advantage. They may become just one of them. That detail makes the entire story bigger. Road courses were supposed to be his ceiling. Now they might just be his floor. You built him. You believed in him. You were right about everything. And now the whole sport knows it too. That's not a success story. That's a countdown. The real question isn't whether Rick Hendrick is trying to steal SVG right now. The real question is, at what point does Trackhouse stop being able to say no? Drop your answer below. Does SVG stay at Trackhouse, or does Hendrick come calling? This is the kind of debate NASCAR Racing Central was built for. So comment, share this video with a NASCAR fan who needs to see it, and let's see where the community lands on this one. If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next.